Alright, welcome to another video. In this one we're going to be taking a look at the Vivo X90 Pro co-engineered with Zeiss. We're going to talk through some of the areas in which Zeiss has been involved with the device itself. But first, let's unbox it and see what you actually get in the box. So right up front we see this nice textured sort of effect on the box itself, which we'll see that continue throughout the design of the device inside. So we just take this off, nice and slow. Oof. Really nice. Vivo has always done a really good job when it comes to packaging, so it always looks very premium. But this is the unit itself. Bit of dust on there. Oof, look at the camera. We'll come back to that. See what else we have in here. Let's have a look at this package first. We have our charging brick, which is a USB-C port charging brick, and this is also 120 watts. That is a lot. So we should be getting some really good charging speeds here, so it should be really fast. And obviously this is a 3-pin plug because I'm in the UK, so we do get a 3-pin, which is also collapsible, makes it nice and slim to pack away for travel. On the other side of the box, we get the USB-C cable. So this is USB-C to USB-C, and it's a fairly decent length as well, so it's not too short, not too long, just perfect length. So you may have to sit close to the charger sometimes, but I think that should be okay. Next package here, see what we have. Oh, nice. We have a quick starter guide, warranty information here, so keep that somewhere, give that a read in different languages as well. And we have our silicone case, which is really nice, just nice and flexible. Keep the phone in there, nice and secure. Put that here, see what that looks like. Really nice, but not gonna lie, I still prefer it without the case on the device itself because it just feels really nice. But we'll get a closer look at that in a second. But you do get a case in there. And what else is there? Our SIM ejector tool. Get a nice cool SIM ejector tool there. And I think that's pretty much it when it comes to the unboxing and what you get inside the box. Let's take a closer look at the phone. While this is switching on, let's look around the device. On the front, we have a screen protector already pre-installed, which is good. I like when manufacturers do that. It means you don't have to go and buy something else. We got the front-facing camera right there. And that front-facing camera is a 35 megapixel shooter, which is really good. So you get some really good quality out of that. You got a slightly curve on the screen. So this is a curved display on the front. We got the power button and volume rocker on the side there, and then on the other side there's nothing, just sits nice and flush. And on the bottom we have our SIM card tray and a USB-C port and speaker grill and microphone as well. Up top we have that professional photography writing written right up top there. Just get that shimmer on the light. We've got a microphone, we've got something that looks like the IR blaster, something we don't really see at all these days. I don't remember last time I saw that on any phone. That's not Vivo. And then on the back we have this nice textured finishing, which looks really nice as well. I don't think this is actual leather, it's just a nice textured finishing to give it a premium look. And up front, up top, we have a flash, which looks like a Xenon flash. I'm not sure if it is, but that's a big flash there, so you should get some really good low light photography. Got Zeiss logo there because this has got the T coating, so it's for transparency. So it just means that reflection less on this when taking photos, especially when you get direct sunlight. You know those flares that you get less of those on here. And then we've got our triple camera setup, and something cool about the design for this is that Vivo says this resembles sunrise. So basically the band that you've got on the bottom here, where it's got extreme imagination on there, is your horizon line, and this big camera array there is actually the sun just rising. So if I see that, that's a different story. What do you think? Does it look like that? But we'll take their word for it. Okay, let's talk about the camera specifications. So we have a triple camera setup, like I said already. So the main camera is a 50 megapixel shooter, and this is an IMX989 1-inch sensor with OIS and f1.75. And 1-inch sensor just means you get loads of lights coming into this. It can capture more detail, and that's not something you see very often on any smartphone. In fact, I don't know what other smartphone has a 1-inch sensor. With that 1-inch sensor, it just means more detail, like I said, and that's something that reminds me of the Sony RX 100 series when it had that 1-inch sensor, and that was a big deal because for such a small device, small camera, you're able to get that level of a sensor in there was incredible. So to have a 1-inch sensor in a smartphone, this is the next big leap in smartphone photography. Next, we have a 50 megapixel portrait lens, which is a f 1.6 aperture IMX758 sensor, and with that again you get more light, and it's very good for portrait photography, especially at that level of aperture. It just means you get that nice bokeh effect, nice blurry background whilst keeping subject in focus. So I'm looking forward to testing that out and see how that performs. Finally, we get a 12 megapixel wide angle camera, which basically ultra wide angle, and that's f2.0 and IMX663 sensor. With that, I don't know why ultra wide angle lens seems to be something that's thought about last, at least when it comes to actual camera performance and the specifications that manufacturers put in their smartphones, because that level of specification just means ultra wide angle photos won't have the same level of colors, same level of detail, same level of brightness compared to the main and that portrait lens in there, which is a shame. I wish they start concentrating on ultra wide angle lenses, because I pretty much like them, and when you do landscape photography, those ultra wide angle lens, it will be nice to get detail. So I mean, food for thought for manufacturers. So here we are after the full setup, and let's talk about the display. So this has AMOLED display at 120 Hz refresh. It has 300 Hz touch sampling rate, and this is a 6.8 inch device with Full HD Plus resolution, which is pretty cool. If we go into settings very quickly, before we do that actually, let's do the brightness levels, see how bright that goes. Pretty bright there actually. It's all the way down, and we'll just leave it about there. But yes, let's go into settings and see what we get. Just to run through some of the system functions. So we have X90 Pro there running on FunTouch OS. We have the Dimensity 9200 octa-core processor, which is also 4nm right there. And the RAM on this is a 12 gig RAM plus 8 gig, because you can extend it using the storage on the device itself. We have 256 gigabytes of phone storage, and is running Android 13. We can also rename the phone here for Bluetooth purposes. So maybe we change that to GadgetsBoy X90 Pro. Boom. Nice. And this also has Vivo V2 chip in there, and what that does is that takes care of things like your graphics processing, things like your extra AI functions when it comes to the photography function element, and the camera element. So that takes care of that on top of that Dimensity chip that's in there, the 9200. Go right back up. We look at something like display and see what we get here. So we can have dark theme, which makes it easier on the camera actually. So we put dark theme on for now, and we go down, go to your screen resolution. So here we can bump it up to the full resolution, or we can dial it down just a tad bit, but we'll leave it at the full resolution. We can also tweak the refresh rate. So screen refresh rate here, we've got smart switch, so we do it all itself, or we can select between 120 Hz and 60 Hz. I tend to just go for the full whack and stick it on 120 Hz. So there we have it. And we go back down, we go to visual elements. You can do visual enhancements. We just boost things a little bit when watching YouTube and Netflix. Go back out, we go on lock screen and wallpaper, which allows us to turn on that always on display. You can change theme, your color UI, UI color, you can change the wallpaper and all that kind of stuff. So you can play around with that and make it your own. We go down to dynamic effects, which is where you can change all the animations and stuff, fingerprint icon. So this supports fingerprint reader and facial recognition as well on top of your PIN code, so you can adjust those things as you wish to do so. We go back down here and we look at sound and vibration, see if we've got anything interesting here. Sound quality and sound profiles. Got audio super high resolution, so things will get upscaled when needed. And you got hi-fi, and well, we could put hi-fi on for things like Spotify, YouTube, just to get a bit more out of our sound system. And then you got super audio effect, which you can change and switch to different modes that you prefer. In terms of battery life, you're looking at 4,870 mAh battery, which is a lot and is more than enough for everyday use and should last you all day long. Mediatek's Dimensity 9200 is a very efficient processor chip, and that should allow you to game all day long and still have enough left by the end of the day. Scroll down, this also supports reverse wireless charging and fast charging as well. You're looking at 50-watt wireless charging, so that is rapid. It means you can charge yourself very quickly by just docking it on, like in the car when I'm driving a Tesla, for example, or if I just have a wireless charger here, a Qi charger, I can just charge it using a compatible charging unit that supports 50-watt rapid charge. In RAM and storage space, this is where you can add that extended RAM allowance. So you got 12 gig plus 8. So here you can do extended RAM, which takes 8 gigabytes from internal memory to add a bit of RAM for fluid, more efficient experience when moving around the device and on running multiple applications and all that stuff. Okay, enough of the settings. Let's look at the camera app. So loading up the camera app, we can see the interface straight away. Right at the bottom, we have loads of different options available, like sports, got night photography, portrait, you got photo, video, you got Pro mode, which allows you to save raw formats, use Zeiss mode, you know, all that kind of stuff you can do there. So you can shoot raw up top there, get super raw, you got Zeiss, which adds more, you can add different effects like flare and all that stuff, and you can go to more, and then you got loads of more options like long exposure for astrophotography there as well, and AI group photos there as well. So you got loads of different options available, and high resolution as well, so you can shoot at that 50 megapixel ultra high resolution photo if you really want to blow it up afterwards or do some editing afterwards. If you go back into photo, we can go into settings and see what options we have. We've got stabilization there, we've got different aspect ratio. We can go into more settings and see what else we have. So if we go here, we've got motion autofocus, keeps your subject in focus. You got enhanced night sky, so when taking photos at night time, that will be there. We come back out, we go to video. There might be other options here for us in terms of what we can shoot. So we've got 8K, we can shoot 8K at 24 frames per second. Not there yet for that 8K at 30 on the Galaxy S23 Ultra, but to be honest, 8K at 24 is pretty standard. And you can shoot 4K at 60, 1080 at 60, 720 at 60 as well. Most of the time I shoot 4K 30 or 4K 60 in some cases. And then you got stabilization on as well. And then we can go ultra wide, standard, or 2 times optical zoom. And then we can do digital zoom up to 10 times on there. Another cool feature on here is super moon. So that one, I haven't had a clear sky here in London for a while, so that would take a while for me to put that to the test. But you do get super moon mode, which means you get a nice detailed shot of the moon when the moon is out in full force, so which is cool. So a combination of astrophotography and super moon means you get really good creative options here for you. You like to take photos on your smartphones. In portrait mode, you can shoot 1 time, you can shoot 2 times and get a bit closer. But regardless of what you do in portrait mode, you're looking at that 50 megapixel lens, which should allow you to get a really nice bokeh effect, really good shot when taking photos. And that V2 chip in here is also helping to make sure that all these things work really well using AI, the hardware, combine all of them together, you get a really good shot. Just taking a look at the display here again, you can see the colors look really good and just looks vibrant, and the detail, the level of detail on here is really good. Just watching this YouTube video here, I really like what I'm seeing. It's really nice, even that different viewing angles, just tilting it here and there. Ignore the reflection from the lighting in the studio, but yeah, you get really good display out of this, which is very essential. I think at first glance, at first impressions, this is really good. It's got good level of spec for camera. I need to put that to the test, so follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter for samples. And also, I need to just take it out there and see how that works on the everyday basis and video-wise as well, see how that works and how that fares against the like of the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, which we've done a lot of content on already. Thanks for everyone who's been watching those, by the way. But yeah, really good display, really good format. I love the fast charger in there, Mediatek processor, good level of RAM and storage, good level of display, good level of camera specs. So this is built to be a really good device. But let me know what you think in the comments below, and anything you want to know for the final review, let me know as well in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer those questions. By the way, you have to just keep wiping that camera lens before you take any photos on this, so do bear that in mind. Well, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.